Hey, welcome back to another video. Well, we're down at Binnian Beach, just on Perth's coastline. I've been here for a week. I had a family wedding and it was fantastic. And I thought I'd shoot down and just do a quick shoot on the beach this afternoon to get back into the groove of things after a lovely couple of days of catching up with family and friends, which, as we all know, is what it's all about. That's the meaning of life to me, my family and my friends. So it's been good. Super windy day, as you can see out here on the ocean. There's windsurfers and such up on this side. Oh, you might be able to see them in the background. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. As you can see, not a cloud in the sky. Pretty typical for Perth. Beautiful sunny days, which is great, and it's been really cool today. Not hot like at work, so that's good. It's not 40 degrees and 70% humidity. Yeah, 20, 25, I reckon, degrees, and it's absolutely lovely. There were some clouds around this morning, but I think that wind's blown them all away, so it's going to be tricky getting some shots. I'll see how I go with the light and how long I want to stay here. I'm not sure if I'll stay till sunset, but just going to be looking at some shapes, maybe some long exposures, using these rough waves to get some motion in the photos, and having a bit of fun. Right out, let's hit that intro and get this party started. The wind is being very painful. Beautiful conditions, gorgeous day. Windsurfers are out enjoying this beautiful wind, and that's about all it's good for, windsurfing, I think, at the moment. I have found these, so I have found a couple of little compositions. So just here you can see this beautiful little rock formation right on the beach here, and I've got all that beautiful green moss on it. The light, sun's coming this way, so it's perfect. It's really highlighting that moss, and I've got those waves crashing. I was going to try and do some long exposure, but that tripod just can't handle the wind, and even while it is locked down on the wind is blowing the camera, so it's vibrating. So the shots I did try, they were just, pretty much horrible. Over on this side, again, same sort of thing, moss on the rocks and the waves crashing. This side was a little bit trickier because those waves with the wind are splashing straight up over the camera. So you can see a little walkway down so you can go for a swim. Beautiful, the water's beautiful and cool. Any other thing other than photography, it would be fantastic. If I had my three-legged thing tripod here that had a bit more grunt in it, I think that would have made it a little bit easier, but it's just super, super tricky at the moment. Gorgeous day. I said no clouds before. I was really happy with the shots I'm getting out of here because you've got that sea in the background, the windsurfers, and the nice blue sky as sort of the top portion, and some really nice textures and colours coming out of that with the waves and some great movement. So that worked out really good. The ones here a little bit tricky, and now I'm going to go back down where I started. I sort of walked down, this is sort of as far as I've come, and see if I can get something else. The wind is playing havoc. Very tough conditions. I'm used to that, I don't mind that. Always good for a bit of a challenge, but yeah, it's really, really struggling to find something. Those two look good, and the ones I got out of this one behind me, that little section just here, that would come up really nice. I did get some nice shots out of that. I went back down to the ND64. The ND1000 is no good. The little cheap newer tripod that I used, just chucked in the bag, travel. It's super, super ultralight. It's fine normally, but with this wind, it literally, you can see the R6 doing this on the top of the tripod. Even though the tripod was locked down and I was holding it down, this is just going out of buck nuts. There's no way that's going to be anywhere near usable. which is a real shame. I think without the wind, would be perfect conditions for long exposure, but yeah, just not today. Right, I'll head back down here and we'll see if we can find something else. Very hardly, that's not the word, very much trying to get this somehow. 1/8 of a second, trying to get some movement here on the foreground. Getting that rock. Again, you can see from the video, massive shadows as the sun's over that side, and then that massive contrast to the super bright light of the sun on that side. So very tricky. I tried moving around the side, but when you move around the side, you lose. I hope you can hear me. It's pretty wild. It's good fun, but wild. So you see how you lose the rock, but by just moving around the corner, you get that separation, and that's what you definitely need. So I did take a photo. Obviously, I'm just doing a handheld, so it's going to be tricky. I did take a photo of this where I dropped down up the light on it so I could get the details out of the shadows. So I've got a version of that, and then I've got a heap of shots where I've done with to cut down the highlights. So hopefully that one, if I need to, if the shadows are too hard to pull up, I might be able to just like paint those in Photoshop and get those details out of that lovely rock. Right, gonna move my last spot. There's a good little section up here. There's a couple of little broken off little rocks that are sitting out in the ocean. It's gonna be tricky. Hopefully with that rock face over there, it's gonna give me a bit of wind protection, because right here I'm getting absolutely smashed, as you can probably hear in the sound. It's probably going to be terrible. My apologies. I'm doing the best I can. She's a tough outie. It is a beautiful spot to come and take some photos. There's a fair bit of this, very similar all along the Perth coastline, and I think it's like a sandstone. It erodes away very quickly, as you can see up on the cliffs there, and then over here as well. It just gets chewed out by the waves at a fast rate. So I've got these little islands here that I want to try and work out, and that's sort of my next thing. Come through 1/8 of a second. Just want to get some nice water movement around them if I can, and hopefully I can get some light by coming from the other side. I've got some good little shots here. I think I've got some winners, and as you can see, this little rock just here, and then I've got these 2, 3 as my sort of, this one leading to that one, off to the horizon, and then you see those waves crashing like that. I'm getting saturated. Oh, I don't have boardies on, so my shorts are saturated. I'll fly back to work tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting. I have to dry off in a bit. You see how those waves are crashing in this foreground here, and then also on that. Got some really good movement there, 1/8 of a second, even changed up to 1/10 of a second, just trying to get something that's sharp as well. Tricky, I'm getting hit by the waves at the same time because I'm so close with the 24mm. Nonetheless, with that light coming on the side and coming on them, highlighting all the rocks and all the details in the rocks. So hopefully I've got some there where they're sharp, nice and sharp, and then obviously it doesn't matter about the water because it's all about the movement there and that little bit of thing. Beautiful afternoon. Just that wind. The wind is a little bit better here, so I'm sort of a little bit luckier in that respect. I'm going to have to walk. I'm going to go back over here on the other side of these rocks now to see if I can get something else, and that'll probably be it. I'm running out of spots. I don't know if I'm going to wait for the sun to go down. It's still all the way up there. It's 4:30. Running a little bit out of time, but we'll see how we go. I'll keep looking, but down here look pretty good. It's not, as a composition, it's not too bad. Vertical, so sort of there to there as a sort of an arrangement, and it looks pretty nice. I hope you agree anyway. But worked out any good, I'll chuck it up now. It's going to look something like that. done and dusted for another week. Waves crashing. Finished up on this little rock, bit of high speed stuff, and very happy with it. Got some nice shots. Tough day. That wind is just mental. That's just really makes it tricky to get stuff done. But also with that, you get the upside, which is you get all that movement in the ocean. So 8th of the second, you get lots of crashing waves, lots of great stuff against these gorgeous rocks. The light's not the best. It's starting to get a little bit better. I just don't have time to stay here, unfortunately. I'm going to head off before the traffic gets too bad. And yeah, I was just thinking, like with those windsurfers that you can see over the other side, which I'll flip you around to. All those windsurfers, how good would a 200 to 800 be in a circumstance like today? That would have changed it. That would have been awesome fun to be out there shooting those guys flying across the top of the waves. But nonetheless, you stuck with me. But had a ball, got some nice shots, and it was great to get back to Perth and have a little bit of a fun day after a great week catching up with friends and family at the wedding, and see the old haunts where I lived for 10 years and then, or 8 years I think it was. But yeah, great spot. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope some of these photos turned out any good and are in focus. That's going to be the next tricky bit, because that wind was just, even holding it, I had to lock my arms right in and do everything I could to try and get as stable as possible. With the 24, because it doesn't have image stabilizations, so it's all in-body stuff. Right, I'll see you next week. Stay safe. Here from Perth. Peace.